We're up.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Well, probably just gentlemen, I suppose, to episode number 18 of Gears and Beers. Tonight, we're going to be talking about some issues going on with the Remington sale. Sam's going crazy over this Zastava ZPAP92, I think is how it's. I have no idea how it's said. I'm just going to go with that. We may have a friendly little discussion about ARs versus AKs. And we're probably going to start with a little thing about a woman being arrested with a concealed weapon of mass destruction. But before we get started, we haven't given away stickers in quite a while. So if you... Yeah, we are neighbors here, Cody. So if you want some stickers, go ahead and share the feed. And I don't know how we'll do it. Sam usually runs that part of it. You'll be entered to win one or more of these stickers. Cole will probably be disqualified because he has a pile of them now. But I think that's how we're going to do things.
Who's got more of the stickers, Cole or Sam?
I guarantee me. But yeah, if you want to win, make sure you share the video, share it wherever, share it on your page, share it in groups, like for extra credit. You don't really get any extra credit, but we just appreciate it. And then towards the end of it, I'll just go through and make sure if you share to, you put in the comments shared. That way I know who the hell shared it. William, what's up, man? And then at the end of the feed, or at the end of the deal, I will randomly choose one. So yeah, that's how we'll do that.
The end of the deal.
The end of the deal. You know the thing.
Yeah. So I don't think we have any real exotic beers tonight, but I think Sam's drinking something a little bit different. Sam, what are you drinking?
Yes, sir. Samuel Adams Boston Lager. Distinctively complex and balanced, it says. It tastes like beer to me. I mean,
it doesn't taste complex.
It's dark, but it's good. It's good.
I have some Sam Adams Boston Lager in my fridge. I think I have like 2 left.
It's definitely a little heavier.
I said Boston Lager. I'm in Oktoberfest. Did I say Boston Lager?
I think you did.
Yeah, Oktoberfest. That's good stuff.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, it's a good beer if you like dark beers. It tastes like a typical dark beer, I guess. Like, I'm not a beer connoisseur, so I don't know, but it's all right. I mean, 3 out of 5 would drink again.
Drink again. 3 out of 5, not like 3.942, anything stupid like that.
I'll give it a 3.276.
Okay, I shouldn't have said anything. All right, well, you guys I didn't mention this to the other guys here, but I saw this headline today. This lady in North Carolina, she's being charged with possession of a weapon of mass destruction. You guys have any guesses what this weapon of mass destruction might be?
That's what she's being charged with, is just possession of it.
Mass destruction.
Yes.
Is it like a claymore? That'd be exciting.
No,
that'd be cool.
I'll give you a hint. It's not exciting at all, and you're going to be like, "What the fuck?"
An aerosol can.
You got it.
I can't even guess.
Okay. It's a sawed-off 410 break-action shotgun.
Oh, good.
Yep. That's what happened. I don't know how they're charging her with this, but she was concealing it in her purse. She got pulled over, and they searched her car for drugs and found this. And apparently, I mean, it's pretty obvious that she didn't buy it this way. So she made modifications to it herself. I don't know how North Carolina law is written, but it's freaking ridiculous. Sam, are you still here with us? You're frozen like a goon.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, just checking.
I mean, no, that's just my face.
No, you were frozen for a little bit. But unless I don't know how the law is supposed to work there. It's obvious. I'll throw up a picture here for you guys so you guys can see this. If I can find it. Where are you son of a bitch? There we go. There's electrical tape down on the pistol grip handle. Obviously, what it looks like to me is a Rossi 410. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they can.
Yeah.
So
My guess-
so if it's not registered, apparently a sawed-off shotgun is not an NFA item. They classify it as a weapon of mass destruction if it's not registered, which makes zero fucking sense to me. I don't understand it. Can anyone explain it?
I'm reading the definition right now, and it's like it's complex. Like, yeah, I don't know.
My guess
Includes
is
bomb, grenade, rocket having propellant charge of more than 4 ounces, missile having explosive, incendiary, any type of weapon. So, yeah, it's like a bunch of missiles and explosives and shit. Anything similar to the devices described above, or any type of weapon other than a shotgun or a shotgun shell of a type particularly suitable for sporting purposes. Firearm capable of fully automatic with a barrel or barrels less than 18 inches. Yeah, basically like Box was saying, they just kind of lump it in there. Like, if we don't know what this is, it's like an unregistered NFA item, kind of. So we'll just weapon of mass destruction.
What do you mean, kind of? That's what it is. It's just an unregistered NFA item.
All right.
That's probably exactly what it is. Anything that's an NFA item that's not registered, they just classify weapon of mass destruction.
Yeah, like a homemade can that's not Form 1, or like an SBR, an illegal SBR, SBS, anything like that, I'm sure.
Right. And probably I bet that they don't. That's probably one of those deals that they don't charge people a lot with. But she just did something fucking stupid, and the cops were like, "Well, screw you. We're going to charge you with whatever the hell we can."
They were just pissed because they couldn't find her drugs that they were searching for.
Jay, wouldn't it be an AOW?
Not necessarily, because it doesn't meet the overall. I don't know how that works.
Overall length is 26 inches.
But how does that work since it's got like the duck head pistol grip on it, not like a stock? I don't know. I just don't know.
Don't know. But either way, it'd be AOWs. They're supposed to be registered too under the NFA. So who knows?
William, yes, I would guess that a potato gun would probably. I mean, you could consider that a pipe bomb of sorts. Or
if the prosecutors were real dicks, probably.
Right. I mean, the likelihood that you're going to get charged when you have a potato gun, you will have had to really messed up real bad with a potato gun to get in that kind of trouble with it, but.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Josh says, first things first. Thank you to all the active vet service and vets out there. Absolutely. It's Veterans Day today. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. My motto has always been just doing one day seems freaking ridiculous. So every single day we should be thankful. Absolutely. You guys are, everybody who served, we greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, video's doing fucked up shit, so we apologize for that again. Instead of blacking out the screen, it just freezes whoever isn't talking, which is super annoying.
Oh. So that's nice.
I'm not seeing that.
Yeah.
It's not like on our actual screen where the phone call's going on, but on the OBS side of it, on Facebook's side, it is.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, that's all on my side apparently. So yeah, who knows what's going on? I'll have to figure that out.
You're the only one on the Facebook video that looks like you got like HD video, and me and Johnson look like we're in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's because I have a real camera and know how to use it.
Yeah, but I will say that my image looks much clearer on the actual call than on the Facebook video. But I suppose it's had to go from me to God knows where to you through OBS, and then you to God knows where.
Yeah. Anyways, something you're going to say there, Sam?
Josh says it's just Sam. Yeah, probably. William says it's if you're a Marine, you should have been partying yesterday. Yeah, it's also the Marine's birthday. It was yesterday. I had a Marine in the shop the other day. He was fixing to go get raging drunk, he said. So hope you guys didn't eat too many crayons, but we appreciate your service.
Man, I saw something really funny that was about. It was like a test or something for Marines, and there was 2 dots that they had to connect, and they had instructions, and they were like, they mentioned, please don't eat the crayon or something, and he ended up just he connected the lines, but he wrote kill in cursive in between each of them. That was kind of funny.
Good stuff.
Okay, well, why don't we move on to the Remington sale? The issues going on with that. Who knows more about that than me? Because I know just about nothing.
Well, I'm really excited to hear Josh's answer because I think it was Josh earlier who said he's got a real tin hat theory, a foil hat theory on the Remington deal. I'm excited to hear that, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, basically the guy who over the last few years ran Remington into the ground, basically. The same guy who was involved in that, he is kind of running a front business that is the one purchasing their firearms manufacturing facilities. So it's like he ran them into the ground, got them to go bankrupt, and then owns this shell company that's going to come in and basically purchase all of it, you know?
I don't know if there's a conspiracy going on. I think the dude's just, I don't know, trying to get by. He found a loophole and he was going after it. I don't know about it.
Yeah. Well, the problem with it, and the kind of sketchiness in it all is I don't remember what position he held, but it's Vista Outdoors. Yeah, so Vista Outdoors is a buyer in a large part of it, yes. He was in charge of the Remington firearms portion, right? And he ran them into bankruptcy and then ended up purchasing. I don't remember how it all went down, but basically they're saying that this guy made Remington go bankrupt so that he could personally purchase them and benefit and have a gain from it.
Right. So even if he didn't, it's a conflict of interest one way or the other because he was the one that it looks like he ran it into the ground. So
right.
And Remington is a publicly shared company or publicly traded company. Mm-hmm. So if that was the case and he actually did it on purpose, well, he lost a lot of shareholders, an assload of money probably. So yeah, I'd be interested to read a little bit more into it and find out exactly, is there any sort of like investigation, or is this just like people on the internet saying, hey, this guy's an asshole?
I'm not sure. I haven't really heard of anything. I think it was, I don't remember if it was TFB TV or who the heck it was, TGC maybe. They kind of, I think they kind of touched on it, on like, hey, this guy was doing some shady shit, but I haven't heard anything come out. Like I haven't seen any subpoenas or anything for this guy. I don't know.
Right.
It's just some really shady stuff that Remington and, basically right at the biggest gun boom, the gun industry in the last 5 years has just been crazy, like all-time record sales. Sales have been going up every year. We're at all-time record highs for new gun owners and gun sales and all this stuff. And Remington, one of the country's oldest gun manufacturers, and somehow managed to tank.
Yeah, I never understood that. How the hell?
Well, and then on top of that, the guy, it's just, that's like Josh says, like tinfoil hat theory, but it's like, how does the guy in charge of a gun company who fails in the biggest gun boom ever and then manages to purchase it? It's like, how, that seems super shady.
That's very shady. Josh just posted, he says Google is the lead stockholder for Vista Outdoors, which...
No, he didn't. He said to Google the lead stockholder, not Google is the...
I was going to say, that doesn't seem correct.
No.
I was like, I think you might be mistaken.
Yeah.
James says, just say it, the guy is a con artist.
Yes, yeah.
Very possibly. I mean, you would, in this day and age, like in the last 2 years, especially in the last year, you got to be a real fuck up I mean, it's free money right now. Everybody's literally buying anything they can get their hands on, and it's been that way for all year. Obviously, there were some issues before, but even in the previous ever since Trump took office, I mean, gun sales have been record gun sales. Business has been good. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand how they screwed up that bad. Other than, I mean, they put out some stupid shit like that pistol that they put out, the Remington. What the hell was it? It was like almost looked like a Walther. And the initial reviews on it were totally fucking horrible. But I mean, there had to have been selling enough shotguns. They got the Remington 870. That's a staple. That is a staple, man. Like that's American as apple pie right there. And the Remington 700. I mean, that's almost the most iconic rifle ever. Like I can't. Something you're right. I guess not. Something just doesn't seem to add up, and that's what we said. Like when we did this episode about Remington a few months back, it just shit just wasn't quite adding up. So who knows if if this guy was just maybe an idiot, a lucky idiot, or what? But it sure does seem a little bit fishy to me, personally.
Yeah,
a little bit fishy.
Seems sketchy.
Hey, you guys!
Can't seem to find a guy's name anywhere.
Smell the tuna.
Well, he was he ran Roundhill Group, so you should be able to find it.
Yeah.
Roundhill Group LLC.
You guys know who else went bankrupt recently?
The company made the folding block.
Yeah. Yeah. You've been reading the headlines, huh?
Oh, dude, I laughed so hard. TGC News last week or the week before. I can't remember the company's name, but he's like, is actually introducing a folding version of the Barrett M107. Yeah. Just kidding. They went bankrupt.
Yeah, it's Full Conceal is the name.
Yeah, I mean, Full Conceal.
You guys know exactly what I'm going to say.
Yeah, don't even say it because it's just getting terrible now.
I applaud innovation. That was a stupid idea.
The
stupidest product ever.
It just didn't have any real world use.
No.
Yeah, that's not innovative, Sam.
Right.
It was innovative, but it just didn't have any real world use.
No, it was stupid.
Well, all right, whatever.
It doesn't. It's a thing, but it doesn't have any real world use. So it doesn't have any place being a thing. It's like a square. It's like a square tire. Oh, that's so innovative. No, it doesn't have any real world use.
Actually, there's been tests done on
Yeah, I've seen them.
not round tires that are supposed to be not bad. So, yeah, what's up?
I don't know.
That's innovation for you right there.
Not round tires, not square tires though.
Well, they're not square. I don't remember what they're not. I don't even remember what it was for sure, but
Probably triangles or something like that.
I think they were triangles.
Yeah.
So who knows? I don't know.
And did you
Little bit of a
see?
bumpy ride.
I think Mythbusters drove on square tires. Really,
Yeah.
beats the piss out of the vehicle real quick.
Yeah.
If you get going fast enough, you can actually move, but it just beats the shit out of it.
And if you start on like pavement, real hard on shit.
Oh yeah.
Whistling Diesel did it like out in a cornfield on like a diesel pickup and just matted the gas instead of like trying to slowly ease up to speed. He just put it in 4-wheel drive out in the field and just matted it. He's like, those guys on Mythbusters are full of shit, and just cruised across the field. It's like, well, you know.
So you're saying it's not enjoyable, like, sitting on a washing machine if you're doing like specific things for, females or whatever?
Well, okay, that really got out of hand fast.
Sorry,
Huh.
What are you gonna do?
Well, you could refrain from saying things like that.
Hey,
Sometimes all that stuff can just stay.
I could, but I won't. So, anyways, we kind of lost track of what we were speaking about. How the hell did we get on that subject, anyways?
Boy, I never know.
I don't know, our typical shit.
Well, it's the way Sam's brain
We're
works.
stupid,
apparently.
and our brains just.
Oh, we went from full conceal to
Square tires.
Yep, being innovative to square tires. Yep, that's how it worked.
I'll tell you, it was the way this brain works, and these two don't even question it anymore. The other day, we were working on the video that will be coming out sometime here, and I'll just out of the blue, I asked how many Skittles would fit in a 30-round mag, and these two didn't even question why the hell my brain was there. They're just like, I don't know. Why don't you go buy some Skittles? So
go get them.
They don't even question my weirdness anymore.
We know you're special, Sam.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. I appreciate that, Box.
Okay. Well, how about we move on? And there's a bit of an echo. Is somebody's headphones like super loud?
I don't think so. I don't seem to be.
Huh. Wonder where that echo could be coming from. Oh well. Why don't we talk about your new obsession there, Sam?
Yeah. He is referring to the Zastava ZPAP, M92 ZPAP. Obviously, looking at it, it's an AK style. Johnson, what's the nickname for those short barrel clit? What the hell do they call it?
Clit?
I'm pretty sure it's not clit.
That's not what I said. I started the word and I didn't finish it. But anyways, it's just an AK pistol. It's got a 10 round.
You were trying to say crink, but
crink, yes.
And those are 5.45, not 7.62.
Right. This is kind of a style.
It's a whole different deal. Yeah.
Right, but they're kind of in that kind of style. Either way,
it's an AK pistol.
This is it's a 10-inch barrel, cold hammer forged, and 7.62 by 39. You got your 30-round mag in it. Obviously, I've never liked AKs like this because to me, you can't. It's basically without a stock or something, it's worthless. So I got a brace coming. I got to order one here pretty soon. But I watched a lot of reviews on this, and everybody seems to be this is their updated one. There's an older style too. As far as this one goes, everybody seems to be in agreement that this is a badass little gun. And quite honestly, I am a AR and a Glock guy, 100%. I'll openly admit that. But I've always kind of been drawn towards the AK for whatever reason.
I think what you meant to say was I've always been a little
funny guy. But I've always kind of liked the AK. I mean, for whatever reason. But I got 600 rounds of 7.62 by 39 sitting in my gun room, and I didn't have an AK to shoot it. So I'm like, well, hell, might as well frickin' get one. And it's just like, for some reason, this sound, I love that sound and the feel of an AK action. It sounds like shit, 100% like shit. But it just, for whatever reason, it feels, I love the way an action works in an AK. So that's kind of why I'm getting into it. Like I said, I'm an AR guy, but that is why I'm getting into it. So it's got a stamped steel receiver, and it's got a bolt hold open, which you usually don't see in an AK. I mean, there's a lot of them out there that do, but with this specific magazine, it will hold open. And if you're an AR guy, you might think that when you take the mag out, it's going to stay. No, it does not. You take the mag out and the bolt drops. So it's not as easy to reload as say an AR. You know, you got to drop the mag, shove a new one in there.
All it really does is basically lets you know that you're out instead of getting a click. Like if you're not, if you're not counting your rounds, you get a click on a normal AK. But
and the other thing is, on this one, you can pull it back far enough that the safety will catch it.
And you can get those safety levers for any pattern AK. Krebs Customs makes safety, or like a safety lever that will hold that back in that fashion. So if you do have an AK and you want that functionality, look up a Krebs Custom safety lever, and they have the cutout for the actual charging handle that all it really does is holds the charging handle up in there. Right.
So, but I mean, that's kind of that's a lot different. Like I said, an AR guy, it's so much different for me to go to this AK style. And the whole thing, the action, it's just, you got to crack that with an AR. You're just like, and you're good to go. So that's kind of different too. It does have wood. This looks like polymer, I know, but it is actually wood, which is kind of cool to me. I'm
gonna go grab mine actually.
Sure. But this is, being it's wood on an AK, I thought about changing this out. When I got it, I was like, well, maybe I'll change that out. Now, the more and more I think about it, part of your AK having wood on it, that's kind of cool. So I think I'm going to let it go. And it actually looks pretty nice like that anyways. There was a box pointed out a review to me earlier this afternoon that this guy just completely tore apart this thing. And he just ragged on it and said this thing's a piece of shit. And I watched the video and I went over my own gun a little bit, all the problems that he was saying it had, and I found none of those. So my thinking behind that is the guy got either a shit one or he's just an asshole that was looking to get a lot of views on a video. But any way you go, pretty much any gun you put out there anymore, if you look at enough reviews, you're going to find a bad review on it. But overall, this one, the reviews were extremely, favorable on it. I didn't find that was the only one I saw that had any sort of negativity to it. That being said, I have not shot this yet. So everything that I've told you, about being a quality gun, take with a grain of salt, because like I said, I am an AR guy. I don't know shit when it comes to AKs, and I will openly admit that. I'm learning, but this just seemed like a good starter AK to get into. And overall, I'm extremely happy with it. I mentioned I'm not going to replace this wood furniture. I really like that. The only things that I'm going to do to it, I'm going to put a 1913 Picatinny rail on the back here and an SB tactical brace. Yes, fuck the ATF. And then I am probably going to put a Picatinny rail up here as well. And I think the route that I'm going to go is, I don't know. I'm debating towards just doing like a Hollison 507C or something, or a 508T up there, just like a really, really small red dot. These iron sights, they're okay, but for me, I'm not an iron sights guy. That's not going to cut it for me. So those are really the only two things I'm going to do, I think, is a brace and a Picatinny rail up here with an optic. Other than that, so far, I'm really happy with it. I will be putting out a few videos, review videos on this after I have actually shot it and have any idea what the fuck I'm talking about on an AK. But Brandon Herrera up here, he knows a hell of a lot more about AKs than I do. And Johnson, you got one of your own sitting there, don't you? What do you got?
Yeah, so this is actually kind of a little different deal. This is actually a Sega 7.62. So this was a sporter. It had just kind of, your traditional rifle stock where there was no pistol grip. And then the trigger was actually mounted back here instead of in the standard AK location. So what I actually did was went here and converted this to, take standard AK furniture and magazines. And they actually had their own proprietary magazines as well, Sega did. And so another thing that you have to do in these is put a little feed ramp, because the feed ramp was built into the Sega magazines. So you have to basically drill and tap for a screw that puts a little feed ramp in these. But I've got two of these. This is a 16-inch barrel version. I also have a 20-inch barrel version. The only thing that's really different about these is basically you don't have a threaded muzzle. Some of them do have threaded muzzles. I'm not sure if this one is or not. Basically, this shroud, you can cut this off, and if you're lucky, you get a threaded muzzle underneath this little shroud. If you're not, you gotta tap it. But yeah, this is just a converted Sega 7.62 that I've had for quite a while, and I don't know, I'm a pretty big fan of them. I've shot quite a few rounds through this one, and probably, I don't know, I've probably got 5,000 or 6,000 rounds through this one, and like probably 12 to 1,500 through my 20-inch one. I've got the 20, that 20-inch I actually haven't converted yet. So that one has all been run on, Tapco garbage. So basically it was set up. It was set up with like a pistol grip and an extendable stock and stuff. So it didn't have the like traditional hunting rifle stock on it. But it was done very cheaply by the previous owner. So I took all that stuff off, and I just got to finish getting it converted now.
Sega is kind of a pretty big name as far as the AK game. I don't know a whole lot about them, but
it's a whole different ordeal. Basically, they're using standard AK parts. The trigger, the bottom plate of the receiver's different. The trigger actually has an extra like little seesaw piece in it. So the trigger's different. It's weird. It's like an AK with extra parts.
Okay, so it doesn't really follow like the designated AK platform. It's just a little bit different, is what you're saying?
Yeah, all of like your trunnions and everything are all the same. Like your front and rear trunnion is all the same. It's all basically internal differences, and that's for the import. They don't have to worry so much about import stuff when it's not like a pistol grip. It's just kind of like a regular, shotgun style buttstock,
right?
For lack of a better term. And so that in order to be able to use that with that not having a pistol grip up here and actually having your grip kind of back here, the trigger needs to be farther back. So basically this whole assembly, this trigger guard assembly, all gets scooted in place of where your pistol grip normally is. And then there's just an extra linkage that runs from your actual trigger bow to the actual hammer, which is like a standard AK hammer. So there's like an extra little like seesaw piece in there. It's all a little different, but
interesting. And I just noticed this when you were talking about your shit being welded on. I didn't realize that this is the same weight as a tack weld right here. And I do, if I remember correctly, there is just a threaded muzzle under there. So that'll be interesting. But and also before I forget, I picked this up from shout out to James up at Northwest Iowa Firearms. He has a great little gun shop up there. Make sure you go and check him out. He can usually get whatever the hell you want. Right now, guns are moving like freaking crazy. He's usually got a line on quite a few good ones. So make sure you check him out.
He'll do the weird stuff for you.
Yeah. if you need the weird stuff to make sure you get that sale, he's your guy. So
yeah, but if you're looking to do like a few different things and like optics mount and stuff, check out RS Regulate, Sam. They make some of RS Regulate. They make some of the best AK parts. I mean, as far as optics mounts, like because they make like high and so they make the optics mounts that come over the dust cover,
right?
And then they make actually low optic mounts that are kind of like along the side. So like aim points have like a set of, or I think RS Regulate makes the mount that kind of just holds the aim point right above the dust cover instead of the whole optics mount going over it and all kinds of stuff. They make hand guards, all kinds of really good AK parts.
Now, being you mentioned that this dust cover, it's hinged right here. So I do know that you can buy dust covers with Picatinis on them. I don't want to go that route because I like this hinged one. But I've also heard that there's options where you can just buy them and thread them on here. So basically, you put in a Picatinny rail right here.
The only issue I see with putting a pick rail on a hinged dust cover is, will it return to zero? How tight is that hinge?
It's a valid point.
Because like my dust cover, I realize that mine's not hinged, but I mean, it's not the tightest thing in the world, and it comes off that easy. So how well do you feel that that's gonna hold zero? You know what I mean? So,
well, yeah. I think like now that you mentioned that, I think that a hinged one would be closer than a one like that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's something I hadn't thought about. And I've also seen guys replace this upper portion of it that puts the pick rail on it.
Yeah.
And then they just run their optic that far forward. I don't know if I'd like running an optic that far forward or not, but
yeah, on the actual gas tube or like
just above it, right? Yeah,
piston.
The piston,
tube.
Right? Correct. But, so I don't know. I'll have to do a little bit of looking at, and I'll text you that number.
The problem
about that, you said where to check out. I'll text you about that later. So
the problem with running those rails, and I can't remember the name of them, but the gas tube pick rails is it cooks red dots. They're like notorious for cooking the red dot because it gets so hot, then it puts all that heat into the electronics, and it'll cook a red dot pretty easy. But these RS Regulate, does yours have the actual side mount like this for the optic?
No, I don't. No, I don't have anything over here. Just rivets and shit.
That's going to be interesting then, because all these like RS Regulate mounts and the majority of your typical AK optic mounts are based off of that optic mount that's riveted onto the side of the receiver. So,
no, right. Box, what's your take on AKs? You ever gonna own one?
Probably not.
Dude.
I don't. Why? Why do I need one?
Well, the reason I bought one is
Because you have a bunch of ammo and you have money and you wanted to. Give me another reason.
Right now, I've been seeing AK ammo online for in the 30 cents ballpark, as opposed to 5.56. I haven't seen it below 60 cents for 2 months. So that's the other fringe benefit a little bit is just ammo pricing. So I mean, and I will run the cheapest garbage, absolute trash shit through this and smile. And I wouldn't do that with my ARs. So I mean, that's kind of a cool
question. The real question is, what color are you going to Cerakote it? You going to send it? You should send it to Titanium Guns and have them titanium nitride the whole thing.
God.
Why in the blue? Why would I do? I own a Cerakote business. Why would I send it to another?
So it's
company?
all gold, Sam.
Like I'm talking high polish, fucking
not
gold.
Like paint gold, like
not
literal
like paint
gold.
This looks like it is literally gold plated.
How much does something like that cost?
I don't know, more than the gun, but I mean that's not the point. That's not the point. Let me look.
Michael Korth, hey guys from California. How's it going, man? Good to hear you.
Haven't seen him in a long time.
Oh, he's around. I'm Facebook friends with him. He's still kicking out there in Cali.
William Whipple. No, I have not even ever seen this arc. I have heard of Creative Arms, but I have not seen their arc. So I looked it up here, and good God, that thing is just atrocious. I'm not gonna lie. It's like a SCAR mixed with an AK, mixed with an AR, which it is an AK-AR hybrid for those that don't know. But man, I don't know about that. What can you tell me about him there, William? I don't know anything about it.
I want to address a few more questions that we've got in here. Philip Huffman, with Spring and Follower? No, we removed Spring and Follower. I thought about trying to put Skittles in the magazine with the Spring and Follower in there, but I wasn't going to try and pick that many Skittles out of Sam's carpet. So we did remove them. To answer your question, Cody, 2.5 bags. It will fit. And Sam thought for sure 10 bags of Skittles were going in there. He's like, no
10
way.
10 bags.
He legitimately said 10 bags at one point.
I did not.
You did too.
I said a lot more than 4.
No. So he got 4 bags. He got one of each flavor. And I said, there's no way all these are fitting in there. He told me it's going to take like 10 bags to fill that. We got to 2.5. So there's that. And then William Whipple, everybody's backup plan to Facebook. And I see a lot of comments that are kind of addressing this. Yes, Parler is basically the non-commie version of Twitter. So if you're into Twitter, Parler's the new one. And MeWe is the non-commie version of Facebook. Neither of which are set up to handle the kind of volume that they're seeing right now. So they just pretty much don't work. And it's my wife and I both joined MeWe, and
MeWe.
it's
got too gay of a name to succeed.
It's the #1 social networking app on the App Store right now. So it's growing.
Parler?
Yeah, it's growing big time. MeWe is blowing up.
That's a surprise. I've seen nothing but Parler shit.
So I think what a lot of people are doing is what I did. I saw Parler, right? Heard a ton about Parler. Went on to Parler and like searched it, and everybody's like, well, this is like Twitter, but MeWe is like the new Facebook. And it's like, well, I hate Twitter. So to hell with this, I'm going to MeWe. And then I ended up, I never even got Parler, and I ended up with MeWe. But yeah, so that's kind of, there's a lot of gun groups and stuff on MeWe too. I don't know. Let us know if you think we should, get on the whole MeWe thing, or if we will
join one. Which one do you guys want us to join?
Yeah, I can't
MeWe.
I can't fucking keep up with Facebook.
No,
and Instagram, and then we add a third and a fourth. I agree. We have to do at least one. We got to support the.
I think MeWe is going to be more of our thing because the Parler just being like Twitter, it's really just not.
But there's still photographs and everything.
Yeah.
And videos.
But
now you guys are
using pliers for a bottle
opener.
Look at
this fucking hellbilly.
Good God, man! You don't own a bottle opener?
Well, I do, but it's 12 feet away.
This is embarrassing for you, Sam.
What else was I seeing here? I know there was just spit whiskey all over Clit.
You're welcome, Brett.
Yeah. Yes, James. Daddy hooked him up with that. Gold Cerakote. Yes, Brett, but I think so. I've seen a gold Cerakoted AK come out of Shyworks, and I still think titanium guns needs to coat that whole thing. Like, I'm talking high polish.
It'll be slick as shit, Sam.
Cerakote gold, it doesn't look anything like gold. It's a gold color, obviously, but gold is shiny and shit, and this is not. Cerakote gold is not that way, so...
Josh sent a gold plating kit he wants us to click on. I'm not going to check it out because I'll get lost or something.
I'll tell you what. I'll take that. That bullet.
It is for you. So that bullet,
electroplating made easy.
Yeah.
I doubt that it's that fucking easy.
Josh Narinko. So Narinko can go either way. I mean, you got to look at what model it is. So if it's like a Type 50 Chinese Type 56 Narinko, like, or Polytech, whichever, there's good and bad Chinese AKs. The Type 56 is generally one of the better ones, but you kind of got to look out for them because they're getting harder to find, and they're actually getting a little more expensive. Some of the Chinese ones are. Michael, I'd like to hear more about how you're picking up an AR pistol in California. Because, I don't know, supposedly for, pistols and stuff, there's a list of approved firearms in California for stuff like that. Like, hey, this make and model is allowed and this make and model isn't. I guess I don't know how that whole thing works, but I would like to hear more about it because I don't know if there's a lot of people leaving that state. Does that mean there's going to be brighter days ahead for California?
No.
How'd the election work out in Cali? Did they go just completely Democrat way, or
just as horrifically as you'd expect to believe?
Yeah, shocking.
Right.
Shocking.
Okay.
I'll do a little searching.
Boys, we're in the last, we'll say 15, 20 minutes of the show. Why don't we move on to our last topic? Our friendly little debate of ARs versus AKs. Sam's teetering on the fence now, I think. And
no, I'm not. I'm still firmly in the AR realm. But I think each has their benefits. Really, if you look at the AK round itself, it works. It's a 30 cal round, obviously, so it's got that benefit over the 22 cal. It hits hard. It works out to distance still. And I see. There's a lot of the Army and the basically U.S. defenses have been talking about wanting to find switching over to a 30 cal round for a long time. So if you look at the history that 5.56, there's a lot of guys that say that round was never designed to kill. That round was designed to wound. You know, and if you look at the 7.62, that's certainly not the case. The damn thing works. So if you look at ballistics, I mean, you got a lot going for that on the 7.62. Also, the nice thing about that round is out of a short barrel like this, 10-inch barrel, you're still good to go. I mean, it doesn't lose that much as compared to a 5.56. You know, you shooting 5.56 out of a 10-inch barrel, you're losing velocity heavily, and your distances are already, I mean, you're out to a certain range, and I couldn't quote exactly what that is right now, but you lose subsonic or supersonic, and your rounds are no longer going to be near as effective. So that is a benefit for 7.62. The other thing is, like I touched on a little bit ago, is price. I mean, you can buy, there's imported trash steel case ammo all the time for dirt cheap. You can still find it right now for in the 30 cents ballpark. So that is a benefit.
I will say it was about the same price as 9mm before all this. It was in the 17 to 19 cents per round for, you know, your standard Tula Wolf military surplus steel case, non-corrosive stuff. It was in the 17 to 19 cent per round range. Like you said, it is around that 33 to 35 cent range right now, but it's easily available is the biggest thing. 5.56 and 223, it's getting hard to find. I mean, if you are wanting to spend $1 a round, yes, you can find it, but even finding larger quantities of it is actually getting harder to do. And more places are putting purchasing limits on a lot of 5.56 and 223, just, you know, to try and spread the supply.
And also, I mean, obviously, the 30 cal being a lot bigger bullet, the muzzle, the speed is not as much. You're gonna have let's see here. You got a lot more drop. You're gonna have a lot more drop with a 7.62 than you are with a 22.
Well, yeah, it's heavier projectile and a worse ballistic coefficient. I mean, it's heavier, it's slower, and it's got a worse ballistic coefficient just because, well, actually, I don't know if they do. I don't know on a ball ammo if they would have worse ballistic coefficient or not. But yeah, it's heavier and slower, so it's obviously going to drop faster than, you know, your typical 55, 62, or 77 grain 5.56. But
right.
The biggest thing I think for me, and you could spiral this into a whole nother discussion, but there's a lot more felt recoil in a 7.62 by 39. And I mean, yes, a heavier projectile is obviously going to be more felt recoil, right? But also the fact that it's a piston gun, you know, makes the recoil, you have that much more reciprocating mass going to your shoulder.
Right.
Whereas direct impingement is, you know, there's a lot of cushion there just because there's not actual moving parts. You're kind of compressing gases and venting gases, you know, so I don't know. There's a lot more felt recoil because of a few different reasons with the AK, but
so I guess I've been talking about 7.62 for quite a while here. I'm making it sound like I'm leaning towards that, which I'm not. Like I said many times, I'm an AR guy, and I probably always will be. But I see the benefits. I can see the benefits of both, especially in a time like now. I mean, why not have everything? You know, if obviously, you know, we can't all do that. There's a lot of people, a lot of Americans that can't afford both. And that's okay. But I mean, if you got one or the other, you know, I think they're both great options, and they're going to do what the hell you need them to do.
Personally, if it were me right now, and if I I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up for me because, like, I like both platforms. I'm a fan of both platforms. And to me, I would rather, if I'm getting another AK right now, I'm getting a 545 by 39. I'm not getting a 7.62 by 39.
What kind of prices they got on that shit right now?
35 cents. It's about the same as 7.62.
Didn't they ban the import of a lot of that a few years ago?
No, just certain
types of it, right?
Yeah.
But before this whole panic all started, was it still down in the teens?
Hold on, I got a bookmark for ammo seek, so let me just get to 545.
And if you don't know what 545 is, it's basically
it's
the commie answer to 556.
Yeah.
556 was our answer to the commie 762, and 545 is the commie's answer to our 556, essentially.
So 545, it's real close. It's real close to 556. You're talking 60, 70 grain, bullets, and right now it's 35 cents to 40 cents. As it's getting really hard to find, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It's far thinner than 7.62 by 39, but I can order a case of 1,000 right now for $400. I can get $300 for a case of 750, and so it's out there and it's easily had. But to me, that really narrows the gap between the AR and the AK as far as platforms go. The biggest thing that I think AR has for it is ergonomics, and that's a pretty big part of it, to be honest. You can build out an AK of, like, if you go to RS Regulate's website and you want to spend $3,000 and build yourself out a real badass AK, you can, but I don't know. The 545 is a pretty damn good round, and they, with current furniture and stuff, they're getting closer and closer all the time. I think the two platforms are.
Yeah, but now that you bring that up, ergonomics, as far as it's not even fucking close with AK compared to AR. As far as an AR, it seems to me, was designed with all that shit in mind. Your safety is right there. Your mag release is right there. Your bolt catch is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is right there. On an AK, you run out it doesn't have a bolt hold open on a lot of them. The freaking it's got a downside on inserting the mag. That's definitely a minus for me. And then you got to freaking on the whole damn thing to get another round in. Whereas an AR, you run out of mags, you run out of rounds, drop it, slam a new one in, hit the button, you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a definite plus for me. And another reason why I will always be an AK guy. But I think right now I'm just getting kind of, I hate to say bored, but I work on ARs that's what I do for a living, is day in and day out I work on AKs or ARs. So now I get an AK in my hands and I'm just like, ooh, this is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's why I'm drawn towards it. But I'm not even going to ask Box what he thinks, because he just said he'll never own an AK. So
probably. I give him credit. He said probably not.
It depends how rich I end up being.
Yeah.
If I have disposable money, sure, I'll buy one just to fuck around with, but I'm not going to buy an AK because I think it's going to be my go-to end-of-the-world gun, or that I'm going to use it in any kind of situation that I would need to.
Yeah.
No, but the nice thing about this bad boy, look at it's small, it's compact, you get a side folder. The nice thing about these is most AR style platforms, you cannot fire in the stock folded situation. You can get a lot of tactical folders for them, and they have to be open for them to fire. Some of them we'll do one, but
That's a very specific kind of situation that you
Right,
can't
right.
fire your AR in the folded position.
right. But I'm just saying, as a truck gun, a compact gun, throw it in a backpack, that sort of thing.
But the negative to that also is look at your attachment point for your stock. On that particular gun, you have to re-rivet in a rear trunnion if you want a true folding AK stock, right? You got to put a different rear trunnion in. You want to put a normal stock on AK stock on that. Any kind of factory AK or factory style AK furniture, you got to put a new rear trunnion in it, and that's a pretty involved process. So I mean, that's
Sure. If
you have something that you can have a folding stock on and you can fire it folded, yes, that's a benefit. But you know.
And while I'm thinking of it, the nice thing about this is this has a screw hole right there, so I can just buy a Picatinny rail right on there, good to go, no problems. But I did see, maybe it was AK Operators Union. He had the same setup with CNC Warriors Picatinny rail, and he dropped the brace intentionally to see how it would fare, and it ended up breaking. So it's not the end all be all.
Right. Yeah. I think truly, if you wanted something that's going to be durable for, hey, I need to bash somebody's brain in with this stock, I definitely replacing the trunnion with like a side folder trunnion or a standard trunnion would definitely help.
I mean, obviously, if I'm going to bash somebody's brains in, I'm going to use right here, and not the.
I mean, but you got to reach down so far that way. Like I can kind of stand here and do this with mine, but you'd have to like reach way down.
Right.
Get, do you want to get that close? I mean,
it might hurt your back or something.
Yeah, you don't want that stuff in your mouth and your nose. Yuck.
Gets messy. It's no good. No good.
William brings up a good point here, though. Being near all of us veterans are familiar with the manual of arms of an AR. So we grab that when shit hits the fan, and scary situation, the adrenaline causes you to fall back to memory function only sometimes. So yes, we are all familiar with the manual of arms of an AR-15, and we, so like all of us, that's going to be our instinctual, I put a new mag in, I'm reaching for that bolt release. But that goes back to training, because there's a lot of people who can reload and charge an AK one hell of a lot faster than we can reload an AR. That goes back to your training too. So, some people think that, this charging handle makes sense to them. It's right on the side. It's easy to get to with either hand, right? Well, an AR, if you have that in your that hits me in the face. I can't even charge this piece of shit because I got to get it away from my body, So there's a lot of arguments about ergonomics on either side of the thing, but on either side of the argument. But, I think it all does come down a lot to training. And like you said, when you're, full of adrenaline and stuff, you are going to revert back to you're not having fine motor skills, you're gonna kind of just fumble around.
But he brings up shit hit the fan, and in a shit hit the fan situation, the only reason I like having both, obviously, I'm going to use my AR until I'm out of AR ammo. Yeah. And then hell, you got some AK ammo, that's going to be plentiful too. So I like having both personally. That's just my opinion, I guess. But I'm just, like I said, I'm just kind of bored with the AR platform a little bit right now, because that's all I do on a daily basis. So I'm excited to kind of get and start learning a new platform.
For sure.
I got into ARs 8 years ago. Obviously, I still got stuff to learn. But it's when you're first getting into that platform, it's new and it's exciting, and it's all right, and you're researching new shit all the time. There's new products and everything is just fun, and I think that's kind of where I'm at a little bit with the AR platform. Just it's something new and it's different, and I like it. It.
Sam, you said the cost of ammo is a big reason why you're on board with the AK. You can get ARs in 7.62 by 39, right?
Yeah, but they look like dog shit.
Oh,
okay.
I can't. That's ugly. I can't fight for my life with that. That's gross.
I don't just like
Ew. Look at
see,
the curve on that magazine.
it just does not look natural in an AR.
It's really funny. It's really funny that everybody's like, oh my God, you got to rock that mag in. And, it's got that stupid paddle instead of just a button I can push to drop the magazine. But what does everybody want in an MP5? They want the paddle mag release. That is like the biggest feature. Like when you have the button style MP5s, the button mag release style MP5s, everybody's like, that's garbage. That's not a true MP5. I need that paddle mag release MP5. And it's the same people who bitch about the paddle, the lever that you got to click off on an AK. It's funny. But, because that was like the iconic part of like, I guess the true MP5 and like the MP5K is they had that paddle mag release, and that was like a big feature that a lot of people wanted to make sure that these SP5s had a paddle mag release. And yeah, it's the same people who complain about the paddle in the AK.
Yeah. And it's something I'll get used to, I guess. But Joshua says, I'll be the hillbilly American and say it, American made and designed for the win. There is something to be said for that. I agree. This thing is made in Serbia, so it's got classic commie roots, but
yeah, that's the other thing. You guys know terrorists use AKs, right?
Oh,
right?
Jesus.
And look at this bitch. Freaking pistol AKs. There's nothing more iconic to a terrorist than this.
You want to be a terrorist.
There's nothing more iconic than you wearing your bed sheets, shooting that sideways over your head.
Guys,
whatever the hell I say.
I've been bothering Sam for a while now to get electricity and heat in our new studio, and I told him a couple weeks ago. You can't buy that AK. We still got to get electricity and heat into the studio. But nope. Here Sam has an AK, so we're going to be freezing our asses off in a studio in the dead of winter. And he's going to be walking around with an AK. It's like we're in Russia, guys.
It is. Because we're going to have a next episode. Next episode, we're all going to be passing around a bottle of vodka around our fucking garbage barrel fire that we have in the middle to fucking stay warm. Jesus.
I knew you were going to fucking bring that up, Box. I knew it.
I almost forgot. It's a good thing I have notes.
I didn't have a choice. James had this son of a bitch, and I was like, well, actually, this is a shop purchase. This is Shyworks owns that gun. I don't own that gun. Shyworks owns that. So thank you very much.
Shop purchase, my ass.
I won't write it off to myself until I get heating up in that shop. So you're welcome.
Wow, you're so generous. Thank you.
We drink vodka on next episode.
He'll be like, see, we have heat. It's May again.
You want heat? I give you heat.
But
you want heat? You wait till summer.
When it really comes down to it,
true commie way. You wait till summer.
What it really comes down to, though, is AR versus AK is kind of a Chevy versus Ford argument. Everybody has their own fucking preferences. I mean, I'm going to run an AR all the time because that's what I'm familiar with, and that's what I can run the best, and it just seems makes most sense for me. So that's what I chose, but I'm not going to be like, it's the best. That's just ridiculous to me. Everybody has their own purposes.
I had an AK before I had an AR. I had my 20-inch version. Sega was one of the first rifles I ever got. I got it for my dad had got it for me for my birthday. I think I just turned 18 maybe. And so I had it. I shot it. It was fun, just took it out target shooting and stuff in the backyard. And but the reason I bought my first AR was because it was an 80%. And I wanted to build it, right? So I basically was setting up that the whole build process just to complete an 80%. And I looked at doing an 80% AK, and it was like, that is way more in-depth than I am looking to be. I mean, like, yeah, I had to run a mill to finish but I'm familiar with a mill. I know how to run a mill. I'm not super familiar with all the riveting tools, and it's expensive to get all the tooling that you actually need to finish
Oh yeah.
an AK, you know, like all the riveting tools and blocks and jigs and all the shit that you need. It's not cheap. It's not a cheap process. If you're going to build one, buy one. You know, if you're going to build 4 or 5 of them, okay, then, you know, it might be worth the investment to get all the tooling, but
Sure. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay.
so I could have very easily been an AK guy, but luckily 80% ARs were easier.
Yeah, we would have got you converted. Okay. Well, any last thoughts on that? No. Sam,
fuck
you
the
wanna?
commies?
Yeah, Sam. Fuck you. We do have to give away a sticker, Sam.
Yeah.
Before
Box.
we go.
Pick a number 1 through 8.
We had 8 shares. Are you telling me that the numbers 1 through 8 are because we had 8 shares?
Yes.
You guys need to step your shit up. My thing shows that there's 13, now 12 people. I must piss somebody off. They left.
Well, they're not
But-
sharing because last time we made a promise that if we got so many shares, we'd have Sam do a photo shoot in a kilt, and that still hasn't happened yet. So they feel betrayed.
I have the kilt here marked for where the new buttons need to go.
We will put that on the. I will mark that down on my list. On my list. That we got to get that photo shoot done. I promised it, and it'll happen.
Hey,
And I won't even.
you said you were going to write it down. You just ruffled papers and threw your notepad back on.
I know.
table.
I figured I'd write it
down.
down after we. Fine. Fuck.
I just think it's
See-
funny how it's been put off until it's going to be like 25 degrees out, and Sam's going to be wearing a
Oh,
kilt.
Shirtless with a kilt on
It's gonna be-
outdoors.
Kilt?
Yeah.
For
Photo
sure.
shoot.
Crumples it
See?
up, throws it in the trash.
Right there. This is my list of shit to do. So
Anyways, number is 8.
you wanna. That's your number. Is 8?
8.
Joshua Stokes.
Oh, I mean 7.
Joshua Stokes.
Oh, did I say 8? I meant
Hey Josh, shoot me your address and I'll get some stickers sent out to you. A couple of gears and beers and a Shireworks one as well. I'll throw in there. So
I like
absolutely.
Go ahead.
I was just saying thank you to everybody that shared. It's always much appreciated. That's how we grow. So you guys are awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I like how much we've had a lot of conversation in the comment section tonight.
yeah, today was good.
It's much
For that.
appreciated.
That's awesome.
I'm tempted to pour myself another drink and keep this going and just chat with you
I
guys
know.
for a little bit.
I got a whole nother beer here. I mean,
I got more beers. Let's drink them.
we could go on for. We've been going for what, an hour and 18 minutes. Boy, we
Yep.
could go for.
Yeah, the problem is we'd be like, all right, we'd all crack another beer, and then we'll just be like,
So,
well, shit.
yeah.
We ran out of shit to talk
what do you
about.
want to talk about? I don't know.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll hang out here for 5 more minutes, and if anybody has any good
Hey.
topics or questions or
Let's-
anything that we want to talk about,
So-
we'll run with them.
I got a topic that I'd like to talk about.
Not you.
Oh.
Go ahead.
What a dick. I'd like to talk with you guys a little bit about it, but for the last few remaining people that we have in here, what do you guys want to see as far as life's short-lived free things that you can purchase, merchandise per se?
Will not comply shirts are coming.
So I know we've got a few things lined up as far as t-shirts go. I'm looking at like stickers, PVC patches, stuff like that. What do you guys want to see? Like what? And it's not really so much what you want to see. What do you want to buy? Because like, I mean, that's really the thing about it. Like, what are you wanting to display? Life's short-lived free. Like, I feel like we have a pretty good message as far as life's short-lived free, and kind of like our motto, just regular guys who love freedom. And I know that's, you know, who our fan base is. And it's a lot of guys who like to, exercise their freedoms, doing all kinds of shit. We see stuff from you guys as far as hunting and your motorcycles. We saw some cool pictures when we did our last run of stickers. We saw a lot of cool pictures of people putting it on bikes and cars and all kinds of cool shit. Coffee cup user. Okay, flag, decals, patches.
I see patches a couple times on there.
Yeah. So that's a big thing is like we want, yes, we want like you guys to be proud to show the Life Short Live Free stuff off. And a lot of times, like if it's a t-shirt or a patch and like, say you have like a hat where you can stick a patch on it, it's a good conversation starter, things like that. And, but I just want to know what you guys will actually buy and use. 'Cause we don't want to obviously, make a bunch of merchandise that nobody wants. So, I
see patches. I've seen those a couple times on there. Those are, I can do that. Decals, I can 100% do decals easy. Patches, I've thought about doing cups. Cups are fairly simple as well.
Why are there decals and not decals?
Decals. I don't know. Koozies. I can do koozies.
Koozies would be a good one, yeah.
And also, I haven't told anybody this, and we haven't launched this shit officially, but we do have a website for our faithful guys that are in here that always, you guys always are on here.
Yeah, we're an hour and a half deep. You guys are true fans here.
Go to lifeshortlivefree.com. The website is live. It is up. I've designed it. I'm still working on it, so it's operable. It's just not. I haven't
not perfect, but it's there.
I haven't told anybody about it yet. We need to change a few things, but I think it's going to be a good website, and that's where we're going to sell all our merchandise on it. So go and check it out. If you have comments, message us and let us know. Say, hey, this isn't working, or hey, I like this, or hey, I don't like this. Whatever it is, that's always appreciated. And just give us a shout and let us know what you think about it at least.
Absolutely. And I think we will be far more apt to really update this website and stuff once we actually launch it and get the merchandise up there and kind of keep up with it. So I think that'll be a good way another good place for you guys. Even if you don't know that we're, like, say you didn't know we're on Instagram, right? You go to the website and, you can obviously find all of our links there, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and also set up an RSS feed for the podcast, which is good for Podbean, which is who hosts all of our podcasts. If you don't know, you can get our podcast pretty much anywhere, right? We're on Spotify, Apple, Google.
Yep, anywhere but what's the one?
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio. Those sons of bitches will never freaking respond to me. They won't. I don't know if they have. I guess I just got to keep submitting it, because every time I submit it, they just ignore my ass. So
they're extra commie.
Yeah,
apparently, I don't know, but actually, our podcast stats are doing really, really. We're very well the last few months. They're going in the right direction. So the bigger and bigger we get, the less they're going to be able to ignore us. So we'll get on there eventually.
Yes, and if you come in late on a Gears and Beers and it was something you wanted to hear about, all the past Gears and Beers, that we don't just kind of do these live and then hoard them, kind of shuffle them away. They're actually all uploaded to YouTube, to the podcast. They're done in audio form for podcast. They're done in video form for YouTube. We also put them on Full 30. They're also on Gunstreamer. And I don't know how long do they stay up on Facebook, or can we always find them on Facebook?
They're always there.
Are they?
Yep.
Okay.
They're always there. Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys missed one or want to hear some of the other ones, personally, I like going on like Spotify and finding them because you can look through like a lot of the titles and stuff and kind of, hey, that's a cool topic that I want to listen to. So that's always, good to go look through some of the old ones. I've been listening to a lot of the old ones lately too.
Laser engraved spent brass keychains. I like that idea.
That's a good idea. Laser engraved AR and AK mags. I do have AR mags, laser engraved. If you go to the lifeshortlivefree.com, they are on there. I haven't promoted that at all, but they are there that you can order those. So,
can you get it in local retail shops? Not at the moment.
Our retail shops don't even know who we are, Josh.
No, I'm sure Jimmy will. We could put whatever the hell we want up there in Northwest Iowa.
We can put a rack of T-shirts, some koozies, some stickers, and stuff up there.
Well, he don't have shit for room. He's straight up out. So he's building the shop. Hopefully in the next year.
Tell him to take some of that other stuff off the wall. Put our stuff up there.
He will have room for us in the next year or so. So 50 cal brass bottle openers, that would be awesome.
That would be cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, the mags are currently ready for purchase, right? So
yeah, they're on there.
We've got the regular window decals that we did last time are up there, as well as the magazines, the laser engraved magazines.
And if you ask me, those mags are pretty freaking sweet.
They are pretty sweet. I've got another idea for a magazine, so we got to talk about that. But
okay, all right.
I do love this. It's almost like, like a seal. That's why I like this. It's kind of the graphic is kind of like a seal.
Yeah, we got our own. We got our own official seal. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. We're pretty official.
We're sort of a big deal.
So. But yeah, if you want laser engraved mags, go to lifeshortlivefree.com.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut her off.
Fine.
We've surpassed the 5 minutes, and nobody has come up with any good topics or questions, so I'm sorry, guys.
They had a lot of good ideas for shit.
Well, we never stalled.
No, that's true. But
I hear you.
We're, hour and a half in now? I've been recording. Yeah, live, hour and 25 minutes. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and call our night. Thanks, everybody, for sticking around as long as you did or stopping in. I don't know if I've seen William in here. I feel like I have seen him in, but he's been extra.
He was in last time. Last time was the first time, 2 weeks ago was the first time he really commented a lot. So, yeah, we always like seeing new guys in here. Excellent.
Yeah, bring your friends. We need your friends. Your friends will like us, we'll like your friends, and it'll be a good time.
Yeah.
And at nights like tonight,
and we like having people like William and Josh who really get involved and are talking it up in the comments, because it helps us be a little more talkative. And when you guys want to hear certain things, we like to answer your questions.
So thanks everybody once again for stopping by. And if you're listening to this on podcast provider, we do this every other Wednesday night on Facebook on live. Our next recording will be on November 25th, I believe, at 8:30. And we have regular podcasts that are released every other Monday. So, check us out. All major podcast providers, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You'll find, if you go there on YouTube, we did just release a pretty entertaining video a couple weeks ago now. Everybody seemed to really like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna, go check that out. Sam threw me off there.
My dog got her dew claw stuck in her collar. She was freaking out.
Oh, I thought she was
panic.
I thought maybe she was having a seizure again or something.
No. Am I supposed to say peace out?
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, you threw me off, so I don't even know where I was anymore. Yeah, go ahead and sign us off.
Thanks for hanging out. We'll be back in 2 weeks. And until then, remember, life's short, live free. God bless, and God bless the United States of America. Sorry, she's sitting there. She looked like a special dog for a minute there.